Hi, sir. Hi, classmate. I am Asnaira Erasid and I am the presenter of the topic The Mandarin and the Flower Festival by Pham Doi Kim. This is a literature from Vietnamese literature or Vietnam literature. What is the Mandarin in the Flower Festival all about? The Mandarin in the Flower Festival is a celebration including traditional dance that honors the trial and prosperous times of the people. So these are the characters in the story of the Mandarin the Flower Festival. Tu Sok, the protagonist, Giang Hong, Rosy Incense, Ngoy, Queen Fairy, the mother of Giang, two young servant girls, and the old man, the grandson of Tutok. So the theme of this story is culture and religion. This is how the people appreciate their beliefs and desires. So having a festival or the flower festival is one of their way of appreciating their beliefs and how they give things to their God. So this is the story of the Mandarin in the Flower Festival.
Tutok and Wonderland. A boy named Tutok lived in Tran Dynasty. He was offspring of a mandarin and was taught carefully. When he was 20 years old, he got past all contests the king organized. So he was appointed to be district mandarin. Not like other mandarins, he liked freedom, hated rules. He also didn't like to swarm others. He liked to drink, do poetry, and go sightseeing. A large temple stood in the area he managed. Ponies were grown in temple's garden, and they bloomed in every January. That was also the time the temple had a Buddhist festival. Many people from anywhere gathered at there as the festival started. Tusok had heard about the festival and wanted to go there one time. He put on a normal clothes that helped him not to be realized by others. He went alone to the temple that time. Buddhism was national religion of the country, so monks were people who had high possessions or positions. Monks set a rule that anyone who picked up flowers or broke boughs would be paid for that, and if they had no money, they had to work in temple till they had paid. The rule was set, and none dared to protest. That day, a girl went to temple, participated in festival. She didn't know about that rule, so she picked up a flower in private because the flowers were so beautiful. Monks saw that they immediately cuffed her and asked her for money. The girl said that she didn't bring money and only came to see, but monks didn't let her go. They tied her and scolded her in front of others. They forced her to send her family a letter telling them bringing money to there. Tutuk went across the place while people were gathering at pace. He felt angry when a girl was offended in front of others. He made his way to monks and requested them to untie the girl, but they didn't. But but instead they scolded at him. If you don't have money, you will never touch on this girl. Tutok turned very angry. He planned to punish them by his position, but he stopped because he didn't want to make things loudly. He immediately took off his shirt, threw toward them. Monks grabbed the shirt, then they released the girl. The girl approached Tutok and thanked him. Where do you live? Your voice is not like others living in this area, asked Tutok after he heard her pretty voice. I live in Chao Ai district, Tungsun province, said the girl. The place was also where Tusok was born and grew up. That made him feel familiar with the girl. They had a conversation while they were walking out the temple. Before they separated, she invited him to her home whenever he could, because he was not accustomed to coercion farmers. He used to be blamed by higher mandarins. One time, a higher mandarin scolded him bad words because he collected taxes less than what he had to collected. I cannot stand it anymore. He thought, then took off his mandarin clothes, hat, and seal. He hung them in front his office, then set off. He went towards his hometown, met his parents and neighbors, stayed at home few days. He remembered to the girl who he had met in festival. Therefore, he set off, went to Tongson district. He found a way to step on almost whole Tongson area but couldn't meet the girl. But he didn't give up. One day, he climbed up to the highest mountain, standing next to sea and saw an island which looked like a lotus flower. He seemed to be seduced by the beautiful island, found a way to have a boat, and rowed toward it. When he arrived to the island, he saw a cave on cliffs facing the sea. He landed on island, found a way to go in the cave. It was darker and darker as he stepped more deeply. Later, it turned out no light could go in the cave more, but Tutok still went in. He groped and stepped carefully. Minutes later, after passing the dark path with full of rock, he got light again. Where he was standing at that time was a large area which hid itself after cliffs. The place seemed to be a wonderland that which was filled full by flowers, many kinds of flowers, grass, butterflies, yes, many kinds of butterfly, and many sizes, and bee, course, many kinds of bee. The sight Francis Heights couldn't only express in one word, wonderful, but there were not all that had a high steep mountain stood in the middle of the area that looked as the place to hide something from curious eyes. He couldn't force himself not to climb the mountain. After hours climbing, he got on the top of the mountain and immediately felt surprised at what's front in his eyes. Now was magnificent castle. One more time being surprised as two little girls was in the blue clothes appeared in front of his face. Welcome, groom, said one of them. Though he felt strange with things and people here, he still followed the girl, went toward the castle on the road which was full of flowers and grass. Aside, just past the gate went in a hole, he met a royal woman who approached to welcome him. This is the sixth cave in 36 caves of the Wonderland. I am the person who managed this castle. Do you like this place? Said the woman. Tutok nodded lightly. I want you to meet a person, added the woman, then hinted others to call the person. Later, a beautiful fairy went in the hole. She looked at and smiled with him. That fairy was not anyone but the girl he was looking for. I have found you for a long time, but I have never thought that I can meet you at a place like here, he said happily. She is Giang Hong, who you have said. Though you just met her one time, you seem to be a faithful spending your time and effort finding her till here. That is the fate. So what do you want to marry with her? Said the woman. It seems nothing could make him happier. Tutuk nodded. That night, a wedding was organized with participation of fairies in the Wonderland. Tutuk and Giang Hong to be a couple, and of course, Tutuk was allowed to live in Wonderland. Thought that the life with a beautiful wife in a beautiful place, walking to anywhere in the Wonderland, joining in royal parties would make him happy in the rest of his life. But he felt that he lacked of something. One day he talked to his wife in honest, honey, I have left my home for a long time now. I very miss my parents and friends. So I want to meet them. He looked at his wife and felt she was hesitant. He had it only one time. I swear that this is the last time I live to meet them. Yang Hong advised her husband to give up because Wonderland and People's Land were two different lands, that people couldn't go cross them. But that couldn't help him not to miss his parents. The more Yang Hong advised him, the more he felt missing home. He turned weaker each passing day. At last, Yang Hong had to say his mother about that. I have never thought that he had much love with his family, said his mother, then asked servant to bring to his home one horse wagon running on cloud. Just few seconds, he realized he was standing in his hometown. The horse wagon landed on the river shore where he used to swim when he was a child, but things seemed to change a lot. House, people, and others were too different with his memory. He asked people and they said him the name of village, and that was exactly the village he was born. But when he asked them about his family, all of them didn't know who they were. At last, he asked old person about him. One thought a little then replied him, when I was a child, I heard my grandpa said that my ancestor had been a Mandarin lost in his travel as he went in a cave. My ancestor had same name with the person who you want to meet, but that has been 300 years since the time he lived. Now Tutok understood what his wife said. He stood seeing the tree had grown when he was a child. It had been an ancient tree. He shuffled to the place the horse wagon landed, but it disappeared. Felt sorrow. He one more time found the way to the island which led to Wonderland, but the cover failed and couldn't find the way leading to Wonderland. Tutu continued going. None knew where he went, and he had met again his wife. Or had not, that is a secret. Today the cave where found the way to Wonderland is called Tutu Cave. The end. So I'll show you a video that is the Mandarin the Flower Festival reenact by the University of Makati year 2013 and 2014. So unfortunately, this is the only video that I found in YouTube. So you can see in the video that they will be doing a singings. They call this a little Saigon. So by watching the video, you will find out why they called it a little Saigon.
Dalat Flower Festival is the flower festival in Vietnam. So, it is a unique festival event held in Dalat City, Lam Dung Province, Vietnam. It is an opportunity to showcase exhibitions on flowers locally as well as from many regions nationwide and neighboring countries. Held every year, the festival not only attracts numerous tourists but it is also a meaningful activity honoring values of flowers and flower industry to promote and attract investment. Thank you for listening.